Bella, I guess what do you feel like was the biggest offensive struggle in that second half? Only 16 points.
I feel like we tried to get they zoned us, and we were switched up between zone and man, and just switching, kind of figuring out, okay, they're matching up in a 3-2, so we need to go two-guard front, and kind of finding those gaps. I feel like that's something we're definitely still learning when it comes to just the spacing and reading space on the court, because whenever we did get an opportunity to get to those open spaces and move, we made shots. So just working on that this upcoming week.
The approach changed because their defense changed. Once they got out of their man, they played zone basically the whole second half. And like Bella said, we're still working on our offense in zone. So that's just kind of what happened. We couldn't pound it in on the inside because they were clogging it up. So we just got to knock down shots.
Yeah.
Dre, the final couple shots, obviously saw Jada a little emotional there towards the end. What was the message to her? And what went wrong, I guess, on those possessions?
We just got to execute, but nothing necessarily went wrong. She did what Coach asked her to do. And me and Say just kind of told her, like we choose her over anybody any day. She got to pick her head up. We still got a lot of basketball game left this season, so, we need her a lot. So we just got to, motivate her and tell her to, we good. We go to the next one. It happened. It's over with, and we just learn from it and keep it pushing.
Absolutely.
Bill, especially in the second half there when the shots aren't falling, and, that's happened a few times over the last few games. What do you tell yourself to keep your head in the game, and how frustrating is it in that moment to try to stay in it,
In that moment, it's absolutely very frustrating. People might say that I'm an emotional player too. I think Dre knows that a little bit. She has to tell me to just keep the next play mentality. But I feel like this year I've stepped into a bigger role defensively. So I try to, whenever my shots aren't falling and things aren't going my way on the offensive end, I try to step up and help. Maybe not in a vocal way, but help kind of be a leader on defense and be like, okay, I'm going to get a stop. I'm going to help get after it. I'm going to help on the teammate who needs help. Just things like that.
Bella, what did you think the mood kind of was in the locker room after that, and what was the message that Nicki gave you guys?
Just that we did a lot of good things. We had a really strong defensive effort. She'll tell you that too. Our shots didn't fall. We definitely needed some more of those shots to fall in the second half. But at the end of the day, we're gonna get back in the gym this week, work on attacking zone offenses, getting those better reads, open windows, open looks. Because whenever we have that, we are really good at finishing those opportunities. So just getting back into that and finding our rhythm again.
I know the past two games, 20 turnovers in both. And it didn't seem like that was a problem, first 14 games this season. What's kind of been the reason behind that struggle last few games?
I think teams are starting to, be able to scout us better and know how to defend us. They have a lot of games to look at, a lot of film to look at to take away our advantages on offense. So I think we just got to keep working, staying in the gym, and having those counter moves, having those when we drive and attack. The people are going to collapse on us. We have great people that can attack the rim, so we got to see the open windows, and we got to figure out how to move when our teammates are attacking and stuff. But yeah. That's it.
I'll also add to that. I think at times we're a little too unselfish. Like even the one in transition, I thought I had Yaya running with me, and I turned to drop it, and I said, wait, where'd she go? Right. So just being okay with finishing ourselves sometimes as well, but knowing that our teammates are still there for that extra look.
Anything else?
Thank y'all.
Well, I guess, hey, why don't you talk about your offense?
Yeah, let's talk about our offense.
16 points in the second half, 2 for 14 from 3. Was it something K-State did?
They went zone. They went zone midway through the second quarter. I thought originally, like when they first went to it, we were scoring pretty easily against their man-to-man. And you know, that's not a team that's used to teams scoring against them. I mean, really, like they've just the final score was what they've done all year to teams and why they are where they are. And you know, I thought we did a good job early we had some pace on our passes. We made good decisions quickly in the high post and got it down low. In the second half, I've got to solve, you know, my biggest, I got to figure out who I can put in the high post and make them a decision maker, because the high post is the kill spot against the zone. And we held it too long. We didn't see where the help was coming from. We didn't play under them. You know, like I showed them film when we played K-State last year. When we played them here, Caitlin Bickle, I think, had a double-double with assists. She just caught it in the high post and just shredded them. Bounce passes to cutters, kick-out passes for threes, you know, and just was a facilitator from the high post. And when they beat us last year, they played us all man. So we anticipated they might go zone if we played well against their man, because they'd had, but we just didn't get quick decisions. We held the ball on one side too long. Honestly, their length really, really bothered us. Sundell and both Glens, Maupin, their length bothered us on the perimeter. We didn't do a good job of playing around them, and when we held it too long, they congested in their length. They go for the ball. And we weren't getting any foul calls on kind of those 50-50 balls on Diggins, and I'm not saying they were. I don't think, you know, we got enough free throws to win the game. We just didn't make them.
Just talk about the final sequence. You had a couple threes there. What was it trying to do there?
Yeah, well, we knew, you know, originally they're a switching man-to-man team anyway, okay? So you anticipate when you know you got to take the three-point shot away that they probably were going to go man with 10 seconds to go. They also had 3 fouls to give. So we knew when we got it in, they were probably going to grab us. So I had told Jada, so that no one thinks she was taking a crazy shot there, I had told her that if they raked her across the arm when she turned, to shoot it, you know? And he was yelling foul. Everybody in the building knew that they were trying to foul. And they didn't call it, you know, but it was actually a pretty smart play because when she turned, they instantly grabbed her, and so it wasn't necessarily a bad decision because you know when someone reaches across your arm, that's your chance. I mean, you don't see it a lot in college, but you certainly see it in the pros. And I mean, those guys are taught the minute you put your hand over top of the ball to play up through it. So. You know, and then we knew 3 seconds on the baseline, you know, we were trying to mess with their switch, which we did. I mean, Dre was wide open, but wide open under the basket. So right away, as soon as she screened, we shouldn't have thrown it to her. You know, I think that's your reaction. Jada's reaction is like, oh, wow, she's open. Let me throw it to you. It doesn't do you much good to throw it to you under the basket when you need a 3. So she needed to screen and sprint back to the arc when they left her. They sent 2 to Yaya. But we didn't need to be in that situation. We put ourselves in that situation to be in a one-possession game without enough time.
Coach, in the back, where do you kind of go from here to change the turnover numbers and just to kind of secure the ball a little better?
Yeah, good question. Not dribbling into trouble, chinning the ball when you catch it, squaring up, not trying to do too much. Some of the turnovers were, I will say this, some of the turnovers were, Kansas State does a really, really good job of sitting on the drift pass, and we're a very, very good drive and drift team. And it's not because they were playing us. They're really good on the drift against everybody. And we didn't have enough ball movement. So we need to give our ball handlers outlets when they put the ball on the floor. Now, we need to have a plan. And I think one of our biggest problems was when we attacked tonight, we didn't attack to score, we attacked to pass. And that was probably our biggest problem because I thought there was 3 separate occasions where we drove in there, had a layup, and turned it over trying to kick it. when we needed to score the basketball. So we got to see the rim first. And I thought we turned down layups to throw the drift pass. And maybe we're playing behind the basket in the short, but you got to get your body angled, whether it's a reverse layup or just power dribble. But, I just think they sat on those passes. We've got to be more decisive. We've got to know when we can spin and when we can't. You can't spin in the lane against a team like this with length. But, Maupin was a superstar tonight. I just, her three in the corner, that's the shot we were willing to give up. She sticks that, it rolls all the way around. She shot great from the foul line. She grabbed 4 offensive rebounds. She was a pogo stick out there. And she finished everything at the rim. And when we didn't do a good job guarding our yard and got beat, either we didn't rotate or our rotation was too early and we had no second layer of rotation. And I think one of the reasons why Kansas State is so good defensively is because they're a ball control team on offense. Okay, so if you look at their pace or how many possessions are in a game, you don't get nearly as many possessions because they run offense. And whether it's with Lee and they work the ball side to side and throw it inside, or without her, they're a 4-out, 5-out, pass, cut, screen, keep moving. But then they wear you down. And so when you grab a defensive rebound, you're just happy you escaped that possession, and we had no pace. So we just got nothing in transition. And I thought early when we got some things in transition, we avoided contact. I thought Jada went there and avoided once. I thought Sarah drove in and avoided. We started to get better offensively when we took it in and played through their chest and got to the foul line. So we just had a lot of possessions tonight. We couldn't take advantage. Jada usually turns those steals into points. We just didn't create any momentum baskets. And then, right or wrong, I think it was a huge momentum turn when they called the intentional foul. That was a big one.
Nicki, stand back here. Y'all have been lucky enough to be on the winning side of the first 4 top 25 matchups. This is obviously the first loss. Why does this one sting a little bit more than the rest? You came in and said, dang.
Yeah, we were up at 9.5. We were up 9.5. That's why. I think we had the home court. We only get them once this season. I think we did a lot of things right in the first half. I thought we started the game, and we were hacking the heck out of them and not communicating on D, but scoring. But we kind of figured things out, and then our defense just really, really got good, I thought, as the first half went along. And our offense was steady, and we just, I thought Dre's quick foul in the third really hurt us. We got to be more disciplined on people's shot fakes. I thought anytime they looked at the rim, we got up in a stance, and they made us pay. So it just we lost momentum. I thought we had really, really good moments from our bench. I thought Jana hit a couple of big shots. I thought she was solid. Defensively, there probably wasn't a situation one time tonight where I said, oh wow, well they took advantage of Jana. They certainly got to us on Gregory with the switches. We got to get loose from her and get around. We got to bring help quicker. We made some decisions late. I thought they made better plays late than we did, obviously. Their transition D was better than ours, but I just don't think that we were able to play with any tempo. And they played Saturday too and traveled, so we've got no excuses. We played our bench as much as we've played it in the last month, so we really didn't have any excuses for why we looked like the more tired team.
Coach, after this 4-game stretch, I know you're not going to say the sky is falling, but moving forward, how much adjusting do you make? Do you make any adjustments to, rotations or lineups or any of that fun stuff? How much tinkering are you going to do before Oklahoma State?
I'm if you know me well, I don't make rash decisions. It's just not who I am. I don't change lineups to change lineups. I think it's, I thought we got really good stuff out of Yaya in the first half. I thought she was driving into congestion without a plan. We've got to really get her to understand spacing in zones. We got to get Jada to understand spacing in zones. Bugs is such a recipient scorer. She's really, really, really good against zones when she's got someone in the high post that can kind of find her on cuts, because she's probably our best cutter against zones, and we just, we haven't found that person yet, that's just going to really, and I got to tinker. That might be a guard. We might have to put a guard in there and keep 2 posts low. It all goes back to we wouldn't be talking about this if we'd have just made foul shots. We wouldn't be here. And I know they can say the same thing, but we're a good foul shooting team. This is, so this was not us. And I want to say we're not a turnover team, but we've been turning the ball over. So, we definitely have to go back and see we're over, you got to swing the ball against the zone. The ball got stuck. I felt like every time we caught the ball, and I mean this about everyone on our team, we were making slow decisions. We weren't reading the 2-on-1 on the backside. We were holding it, one dribble, then moving it, and then their length could recover. So we just didn't do a good enough job of moving it. So we've just got to get better against zones, because we're going to see them. Oklahoma State plays a lot of man, but they also play 2-3 zone, and they're probably going to play a zone, because I would if I watched this. So I don't make any rash decisions. I'm going to go recruiting. I'm going to watch a lot of film. We're going to take a day off, and we're going to get better on Wednesday.
Nicki, I know that Bugs had the 2 early fouls. You talked about maybe players weren't hitting her on the cut, but was this just not a good matchup for her?
Yeah, I mean, I think, she's someone that excels in transition. She's someone that excels on the offensive glass, cuts, slips, she would have been fine against their man. She was fine against their man. Then she picked up the fouls. Against zone, she hasn't made a 3 since she's been at Baylor. I think she can make a 15-footer, but she missed the ones that she got today. I thought we had a really good pass to her that I think she had a right-handed layup, and she kind of pump faked and shot a little turnaround. I think she turned a layup into a tougher shot, and I know why she did it. She got the balance. She took her time, but those are the kind of plays she makes. But, she's not going to attack a zone. She's not going to attack a zone from the high post. She's just kind of better working short corners if she's in the high post. If we'd gotten the ball to short, she's really good diving and playing and finishing. But I mean, if you're not making, she wasn't the only one not making jump shots, but it's just not, it's not her strength. So, it was trying to play and stretch them out so that we could get action in the middle. I mean, there were lineups that I had just saying, I was searching for people to make shots, and that's where Jana made one. I thought Danae turned down some open shots and turned them into, and they became less good shots. But I didn't think Danae played poorly. I just thought she had some open shots that she turned down, and then we never got to a better shot. So, we got to get Sarah going. When is Sarah shot like this? I don't know how many games in a row this is. But I think if there's a common denominator, and I don't think Sarah's played poorly. In fact, I think at Iowa State, at Kansas, in this game, even when she didn't make shots against UCF, I don't think her floor game hasn't been good. I don't think her defense has been solid. I think her leadership has been good. She's not making shots, and I think we need her to make threes. She's our best three-point shooter. I mean, she is our best three-point shooter, and we need her to make shots. And so we got to get her back in the gym, and she's got to see that thing go in. And I just always believe the next one's going to go, and we got to get her to think that way, because I think tonight would have been different too. I think, even with her, I thought she turned down some that if she was shooting well, she would have taken, you know? And so I think there's like the want to, I want to make this, I know my team needs it, versus like that rhythm, like ready to shoot it. You know, I thought Jana was our most ready to shoot tonight. You know, I thought she was our most ready when she caught it to shoot the basketball. I thought Yaya double clutched a lot when she caught it and was open. And I thought Bella only got 2 threes, but I thought Bella was really, really solid. Thank you.